Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We've had a long day, all three of us.
It's been a long day.
Me, Shaka and Jules have been here for the long run. Look at Jules. So Jules is up a lot later than us as well, bless him.
Yeah.
It's not that. Kylian Mbappe spoke after the French Super Cup, and I just got the quotes, and I'm sending the quotes to the ESPN website desk so they can write something, as I can't right now because I'm doing the show. So it's not that I was ignoring you or producer Mike. It's just that I'm about to press the button to send all the Kylian Mbappe quotes. And by the way, they are really good quotes. So let me just send this quickly. I'm sorry to do this in extra time. You know how much I love extra time.
We bring it to us.
It better be worth the wait, Jules.
It's just live.
He's going to Real Madrid.
Saying, he's not saying that. He's saying basically which I'm glad, because it's exactly what we just said on the show, that he hasn't made his decision yet. He's very motivated to win titles by this year. But no, I haven't taken my decision yet. I haven't made a choice. With the agreement I had with the PSG president in the summer, the most important is that we have protected all parties. We preserved the serenity of the club for the challenge to come, in case he's leaving. I guess that's what he means. But for now, basically, he's saying that he doesn't know. And then we asked him if he was going to be as late as he was in 2022. Remember, that was end of May. And he said, no, I don't know. It was at the end of May in 2022 because I didn't know until May what I was going to do, which was staying in Paris or going to Real Madrid, and he decided to stay. If I know what I want to do, why waiting? It would make no sense if I was waiting. So when I know, I will make the decision and do it, kind of thing. And then he goes again about I'm focused on winning trophies, blah blah blah. So it's not much more than, certainly it's the same that what we said on the show. Not much more that we didn't really know before, but at least it's on record. What makes me a little bit skeptical is that he goes back on the agreement that he has with Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the PSG president. Remember when he was dropped from the squad back in the summer, and he says, we have an agreement that protects the two parties and preserve the serenity of the club going forward for the challenges, which means that basically it means that if he leaves as a free agent, they have an agreement that he will turn down some of the bonuses that the PSG owes him, so he doesn't actually leave on a free. He leaves without those bonuses, so PSG still are not left with nothing. So for him to repeat that tonight shows that maybe he's kind of angling towards leaving.
Unless you're in France, you heard it here first. Thanks to Julien Laurent.
Jules doesn't look happy at all, does he?
No.
Oh, man.
No, it's not that.
Sorry, Jules.
I'm processing it all now. I'm processing it all already.
Okay.
He'll go to Arsenal, Jules.
Well,
go to Arsenal and you'll be happy. How about that? Keep you happy.
Yeah, get you back
Imagine,
on top.
I would love it.
The first question is about Mbappe, Jules, perfectly. If Mbappe does leave PSG, does that end the dominance of PSG in Ligue 1? Should PSG start relying on its academy more to build a team that can truly contend?
Yeah, it's a good question. Knowing the Qatari owners, if Kylian goes, they will replace him with another big... And even if he leaves on a free agent, as we just explained, there is between 80 million euros and 100 million euros of bonuses that he would kind of waive off. So they will have that kind of money to be able to spend. And if you look at someone like Rafael Leao, for example, like Victor Osimhen, I don't know, those kind of players, same age as Kylian or slightly younger maybe, but that kind of potential, I think this is what PSG will be looking at. However, I also like very much the second part of the question on the academy. We've seen, obviously, Warren Zaïre-Emery having an amazing season so far, 17-year-old and the latest graduate from the academy. There's a lot of talent in there. The problem with all those young players is you can't just have a team of 17, 18, 19-year-olds. It just doesn't work like this and still win. So yes, I'm all for the young product, the very good one from the academy, but you also need experience with them. You need big players, you need all of that, otherwise it's not going to work. So right now, for me, the balance is still just not right between the kind of superstar signing or expensive signing and the academy. And if they get a bit more of the middle ground, I think I would be happy, and a lot of fans would be happy too. But again, that's not easy. How many Mbappe or Zaïre-Emery do you have in one year group? a club like PSG or like any other top clubs. Not many. We know how it works. It cycles. Sometimes you just have one wonder kid. Sometimes you don't have a wonder kid for 2 or 3 years. So it's not as easy as it sounds to just say, oh yeah, look, the academy must be great. Let's rely on them.
It's another question. It's another PSG-related question, but it's not about Mbappe. Next, it says, for Jules, can we get some love for PSG midfielder Lee Kang-In, who bagged a goal today in the Trophy de Champion? How good is this kid, and do you expect South Korea to win the Asian Cup in Qatar?
It's been amazing, okay, really amazing in the first 6 months of the season. I think surpassing all the expectations that maybe we had. We knew how gifted technically he was, of course, but then, you know, to come to Paris from Mallorca and have this kind of impact in a team of superstars really like that is wonderful. The goal today is a really good finish because he's in the right place at the right time, but all his all-round game that he's shown so far was great. So it's a big blow that is going. I think they will go far. If they finish top of their group and Japan finish top of their group, they could meet in the final, and I don't see any team that, not even Australia or Saudi Arabia, that are as good currently as these Japan and South Korea teams. So yeah, I expect him to go all the way, which will take us, well, unfortunately, in mid-February. I think the final is 11th or 13th of Feb, which is only a few days before the Champions League first leg against Real Sociedad.
Okay, yeah, obviously, a lot of talk about the AFCON, but the Asian Cup as well is going to factor into a lot of teams, and they'll be struggling without their players. Shaka, goalkeeping question for you. Lunin has been good thus far when called upon, looked good again today. What's your thoughts on him going forward? Should he stick around in Madrid for the future Madrid dynasty, or find a move away from the Bernabeu in search for playing time?
I think Lunin has shown himself to be a good goalkeeper for quite some time. He's not Thibaut Courtois, but even when Courtois was injured, was it last season or maybe the season before, whenever Lunin filled in, I thought he did really well in everything you've seen. He's just not Thibaut Courtois. So as a result, and this is always the difficult part, do you stay at a club like Real Madrid where there's going to be success, but you're not necessarily going to be a sustained part of that success, or go to another club where, you know, you won't be winning as many games, but you got playing time? I always lean on the side of playing time. I want to play. And even if it means in a team that doesn't reach the heights that Real Madrid does, I want to be a part of things.
And is Carlo Ancelotti right to not decide between him and Kepa at the moment in the absence of Courtois?
It's difficult because I really don't think there's much between the two. And while, you know, Kepa was brought in as a starter, again, Lunin hasn't done anything wrong, and the old cliche, possessions 9/10 of the law. And now the thing is, I spoke about this, well, in terms of Arsenal with Arteta and Raya and Ramsdale, and I said, you don't play them off against one another. You have to have an established number one and the other an established number two. I think the mindset is different here because both of these know that as soon as Courtois is fit, they're going to be number two and number three. So Ancelotti is able to play it a little bit differently than Arteta is able to. But as of right now, the one thing that you know with Lunin is he will spend a long period on the sidelines, come in, play well, spend a long time on the sidelines, come in, play well. So you don't have that concern around Lunin. Whereas, well, Kepa has done similarly for Chelsea, but he's new to Madrid.
Okay. Jules, if Germany crash out embarrassingly in the Euros, how likely is it that the German Federation could/would poach Klopp? Then, with Ancelotti staying in Madrid, Liverpool would be free to bring in Xabi Alonso. Plausible or total nonsense?
I'm sure that question comes from a Liverpool fan. I love the thought process. I think it's a really good thought process. I mean, Nagelsmann's contract, whether they do well or not in the Euros, finishes at the Euros. So regardless of if they do well or not, if they crash out or not, and they will have to look for another manager. That could be Nagelsmann, of course, and they could extend his contract, but that could also be somebody else. I think Klopp will eventually manage Germany. Will it be from the summer? like for next season, I think this is too early, and especially because not just because he's still under contract at Liverpool, of course, but also because while he's been rebuilding now at the club, and we see this season, must be very exciting for him. And if this season has been maybe more difficult, if they were 5th, 6th, the new signing hadn't really integrated, it was just not clicking, then maybe that would be a possibility. Right now, I would be very surprised if Klopp, even if they win, let's say the league and the Europa League, for example, and the FA Cup, so do like an amazing treble, I still don't think that he would leave now because he's clearly at the middle of something really, really interesting for him. So I love the thought process. I think it's very unlikely that it happens this summer.
Yeah, Mitch, let us know.
Xabi Alonso, it's got to be exciting for any club, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have that time to take time to do what he's doing now, and then to just take his pick when it comes to it.
So, I mean, as the question, you know, kind of alludes to, Ancelotti signing a new contract. I'm with Jules. I don't think Klopp leaves just yet.
Right.
It's only Bayern Munich, who, well, you know, we will see what they're doing under Tuchel this season. But at this rate, well, if this season continues to play out as it is, and Leverkusen continues to do as they've been doing, it's going to be a one-horse race for Xabi Alonso's signature this summer.
Yep, everybody's going to want him, and he's going to have options. Jules, who is your dream PSG signing in January?
My dream, as in like I can pick anybody?
Anybody. It's your dream.
Oh my
Not
God, I would
Mbappe.
pick Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland every day. Imagine a front two of Haaland and Mbappe. That would be. We would beat everybody. We would win everything. We would be so good. Like it would be amazing.
You'll find a way to mess it up.
Yeah.
You know you will.
The problem
You'll
is,
find a way to mess it up.
It's Florentino Perez's dream forward line as well. So yeah.
You'll find a way. You know
and
you
somehow
will.
I think he has more chances of actually making this happen at Real Madrid than we will ever have at PSG. So fair enough.
Even though you've already got one of them. Okay. Last question. Jules, what have you made of Wembanyama's start to his NBA career so far? What have you made of Wemby so far in the NBA?
I've loved following it, obviously. I love Greg Popovich, and I think everybody does. He's a legend of the game. I struggle a little bit to understand at times why Victor's minutes are so limited at times, but I think considering the time that he's been on the court, he's been good. He's the highest blocker in the league in his first season at his age. I think even with his height, it's not just a given. I think he's great. He averages around 19 points, which I think is decent for a first season, considering he plays, I think, 26 minutes in average or something like that. So I would love to see him more. I think the start of the year was a bit difficult because they didn't want to play him as a centre. It was more of a 4, sometimes even 3. Now I think he's better, but he's in a team that is going through a really tough season. They have only won 5 games all season, so it hasn't been easy. But I think he's done really well. So I'm just hoping that he will play a little bit more maybe in the second half of the season now, and that collectively the team will improve, and I think his stats then will improve and all of that. But so far it's just a learning curve, and I think in a way it's probably better to learn in a difficult environment than if everything was rosy and everything was kind of too easy.
Okay, well, that will bring it to the end of Extra Time. Make sure to get through those quotes of Mbappe, Jules. If you see anything at the bottom that we need,
yes,
we'll have an emergency digital show, OK?
Okay, I'm going home. Yeah, okay, I'm going home.
Yeah, he's got it. Trinidad, he's off. But, yeah, safe travels, Shaka. Thanks so much to all of you for being with us. We'll be back again to do it all over again tomorrow.